Before we begin this video, I recommend that you visit google.com and search for dinardata.com. This website is a great resource for the latest updates on Dinar Guru news, all conveniently located on one page. For more information, I encourage you to visit the site.
There is some good stuff out of Iraq today. Parliamentary conquest reveals an agreement to pass two controversial laws today. This is very important news. This is the personal status law and the return of real estate to its owners covered by some decisions of the dissolved Revolutionary Command Council law. These are settlements for other things that we were told we would see right before they do the dinar change in value. For me this is huge. To me this shows us how close we are. Remove the zeros. It's not to diminish the value of the currency or to keep the currency the same as you might hear from others. Special report on deleting the zeros. They tried to tell us there are good reasons for it and there are bad reasons for it. They are telling us 54 countries have done this in the past. They are using that as an example for our monetary reform. Frank, remove the cons and only pay attention to the pros. Developing the banking sector according to international standards. The central bank signs an agreement with the International Finance Corporation on the HCL. Money is moving and I expect to see an announcement any day now. I think it is completely done. Iraqi resistance, ready for open war against Israel after Lebanon attacks, as Iraqi Dinar investors. The headline we've wanted to avoid. They're talking about international. I can't stress that enough. They're going to need an Article 8 complaint. Article 14 compliant currency with the IMF. They're going to have to agree to those obligations and that would mean a change of exchange rate to a real effective exchange rate. You stated that the zeros will be removed from the exchange rate. 0.00076 will equal 0.76 cents. The zeros are removed from value. An exchange does not represent value because it represents a ratio between two currencies, hence the key word being rate. The author of the Delete the Zeros program, Dr. Shabibi, clearly stated why the zeros were added to currency note due to inflation. As many articles have stated, the zeros will be removed from the nominal value of the currency note. Reviewing many articles, I do not recall seeing any article from the CBI or Iraqi government that is aligned with your multiple explanations of where the three zeros will be removed from. A speech that Dr. Shabibi gave. There was never a mention of removing zeros from an exchange rate. I very much believe October will be our month. I think we finally got stuck in September and will see the fruition of it in October. Al-Sudani orders immediate investigation into missile attacks on Baghdad airport. Article 2. Interior. Arrest of the commander of the force holding a site in Al-Amariyah from which missiles were launched at Baghdad airport. Protesters are Iranian. They infiltrate Iraq because of what's going on. They want money. They don't want to lose Iraq, so they try to protest and they try to create chaos. They try to slow things down. They want to retard the process. It's not working. I don't think it's going to work. I am telling you that I know with 1000% certainty we will not see the RV until after the November 5th voting. In a conversation with my CBI contact on Saturday, I was told that if all goes well in the U.S. elections, we can expect to see the preparation gearing to the reinstatement by the start of the project to delete the zeros and the swap out of the larger notes for the smaller denominations. I was told this is now planned to begin shortly after the voting is over and the winners are announced. I was told we might have to wait for the inauguration ceremony to conclude to see the reinstatement occur. Al-Samaria news security detection source informed about the sites that Israel will bomb in Iraq. Asharq al-Azat quoted the source as saying, "There is information circulating inside indicating that Tel Aviv has identified 35 targets inside Iraq. It can be struck at any moment, and includes targeting prominent political leaders and faction leaders, similar to what happened in Lebanon." In light of the potential risks that the Sudanese government is aware of, according to the sources, it is forced to undertake various political moves and activities that would spare his country from possible Israeli strikes. The source stated that the Prime Minister recently assigned 3 influential and acceptable figures, including a religious and political figure, to conduct urgent contacts and meetings with the leaders and commanders of some factions with the aim of convincing them to distance themselves at this stage due to the seriousness of the situation. The two sources' statements are consistent with what Asharq al-Azad reported from sources in London, who said, "There is concern in Baghdad from greater involvement of the Iraqi armed factions in the confrontation with Israel, which could have difficult repercussions on the Iraqi interior." A source in the Anbar Governorate Mobilization Forces confirmed today, Wednesday, that the American forces are obstructing the Iraqi forces and the Popular Mobilization Forces in clearing some areas that ISIS is likely to reach. The source told Al-Maluma agency, "The American forces are putting obstacles in the way of clearing the western Anbar desert areas from the remnants of the terrorist organization."